Well, what's up? What's up, everybody? I figured a long time. I probably should start with something like this, right? This is, especially for those that have known me for quite some time. It's been years, man, since 2017, you can call it. But the channel kicked off in 2019 with, fractals and stuff. But you got to throw a little bit of that at the beginning, just to bring back good memory, That's not me saying that. I'm not calling anything like a pump right now. But I'll turn that off beforehand. Let's switch the lighting a little bit too. I've been on a kick with this lighting thing. We're going to go green. There we go. We'll go green. Bullish green. We'll see if that's how the stream finds us. So I haven't done a stream in quite some time. I think it's almost been, I'd say 9 months probably. Let me double check here. Decided today I was going to do one. I don't know why, but it just came to me. Yeah, August 21st, 2025 was the last time we did a stream. You guys know I pretty much have checked out of social media. When was the last time I even post? I went and saw that Superman movie then. 2025 1. We'll call that 2. And then this is the same day, 3. So 3 days out of... out of a whole year, out of 365 days, I actually show up on social media and maybe post something. This count obviously was a lot bigger back in the day. Deactivated it, stepped away, figured I would find another way to do what I want to do and get better results, and I felt like I found that, so I'm going to continue to do that. But, the public stuff, there's still maybe some... I kick this out because there are some people out there that probably need to hear it or they need to see it, and they might value my opinion on stuff because of probably just at this point you can almost just say, man, just the time well spent, how much time I've spent doing this. And just so you guys know, behind the scenes, that's all I don't want to say that's all I do. I have a lot of things going on, but I'm heavily on charts. I heavily read charts. Fractal analysis was my thing back in 2019, which kind of kicked open this account. And I was under a wake at Mr. Level Up on X. I mean, this is back in the good old days, man, that I actually kind of miss. So you guys probably know today, before we get into the charting, just X is way, I would say, worse, in my opinion, than it was before when it was like Twitter and stuff. I don't think Elon's done it deliberately, but maybe it just happened because of AI. Everything I look at it seems to be fake, or whether it's an AI video. I see people posting charts that aren't even the current, but they're calling drawings on it, and I see people commenting about it, and I'm just like, you guys, that's not even, that thing's a year old, and no one's catching on. Rage baiting, engagement farming, fake thumbnails, clickbait, all that stuff for the wrong reasons. And I think Elon probably knows that would be the downfall of X. People would probably go, there's no way X would fall. And I'm like, you want to make X fall? Create a platform that the humans have trouble figuring out what's real, and it's just junk and fake, and no one knows what to believe anymore. And I think that would be the downfall. And you can see it with everyone asking Grok for answers, right? Grok, is this true? Grok, is this true? Is this a real video? And then Grok's wrong, because Grok's been programmed by probably the same people that program the media. All those AIs are programmed that way, and then they read the internet, so they're fed. They can probably manipulate it easily, which they probably are. Is that they read the internet for basic questions, but if it wants to be fed to see things a certain way, it will respond that way. It'll program that way. So once upon a time, we had the media programming us. Trying to. Now, I mean, people are still getting programmed by television, and now it's going to be the AI, and humans really getting worked right now. And that platform on X is, to me, a complete disaster. So I know a lot of you guys are probably still on it, and you're probably watching. I see a lot of big influencers. Everyone's doing. I see more fractals, believe it or not. So I was just like, oh, there goes a bunch of fractal people out there. So anyways, I wanted to do a public live stream for you all, and I'm going to give you guys an update on Bitcoin and on XRP. I don't hold either of the two. I am a big crypto guy and alt guy, alt person here, so I got a lot of alts. I've been watching this and been working on this, so I want to kick this out to you guys. So Milan, what's up, dude? Crypto Hulk, wow, brother. See, a lot of these names. Aaron, what's up, dude? Ion, I think I know who. I think that guy's a local guy here. Juan, what's up, dude? Yeah, man, it's good to see a lot of you guys in here. I remember a lot of you all and there will probably be people watching on the replay as well. So I wanted to give you some stuff that I think is helpful, and I guess we'll just start off with where I left off on the stream. The last stream, which was the one that I said was August, was, well, I guess they said it says 6 months ago here, but that August, September, I guess it is 6 months. Okay, yeah, it's 6 months ago, I guess 6-7 months. So I will give you guys this here, and I think there was definitely some stuff that wasn't, I mean, you're predicting the future here, so some of this stuff's not going to be always, as you guys know, you see everybody trying, never is going to be somebody that's fully accurate. I think you all know that out there. I think you've learned, especially if you've been around for a while. Me, man, I pulled away from it because I saw kind of what was happening, and I didn't like, I was never going to battle for, I wasn't going to, drop integrity and manipulate. I mean, I've never asked for likes, subscriptions, go buy my course or anything. Never did, man. And that's not a flex or but I do think it is a higher vibration of somebody that's operating at that level. And that's what I've always strived for, is like, okay, how do I improve as a person, AKA Mr. Level Up? And what do I think is the right way to do things? And it was always to help humanity, but it's just not there yet with a 3D world. It's very hard, it backfires. And emotions and just everything on here, people are trying to come up in life, and it's tough. And if you're not perfect, you're going to so it just wasn't worth it for me. I pulled away, and it's worked out. And I think I found, I've definitely got a tight group of people I work with, and they've all been wonderful. And I'm like very blessed to have them, and they've helped me, and I've helped them, and it's just been great. So you're getting a slice of that on the public side of some of the stuff we've worked on, and it won't obviously be super detailed, but there'll be stuff that is going to be helpful, I think, and I'm just sharing that with you guys because I think it's for some people out there I want to see it. So let's go ahead and just start this. I think this was the video back 6 months ago. We're going to hit play, and we're going to see what I say here. Once again, there's some things on this video that aren't accurate, but this right here, you can see right out the gate when I was looking at it, I wanted to give you guys this forecast. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to turn my mic off, and I'll play it, and you can kind of see what I was looking at 6 months ago, and we'll keep going from there. Inch US. Here goes that wick. That wick's at 138,000. I know that there probably might be people right now looking for Bitcoin to go down. I do have a, how do I put it? I have a down, and then I have an up, but and there's a nasty down, but not the main one. That's a problem. Like I have, hopefully, wow, I got power almost going out over here. Not the one that goes and starts clearing these levels and comes down to like down here to 12,000. That's the one I would expect everyone to probably have already taken profits, because that's on deck for me, but not yet. Kind of like what I said, that's not yet. But I'm a forecaster the way I read stuff, so I would say that will happen, and we'll see some very ugly stuff happen with all cryptos. And when that's happening, XRP is probably definitely well under 20 cent, under 10 cent. But right now, it's not what I see happening. I see we have to finish up this up, and while we're going up, there's a move, but it's not the one I just mentioned there. It's not that one. There's a first, like, kind of a scary one. It's kind of more shallow than what I just said, but in my opinion, we will fill the wick over here is what I think happens. So if you're wondering if there's any juice left in the tank for Bitcoin, I think there is. I think that 150 to 170s, and I have that on deck. And these are just my opinions based off of stuff I'm reading and what I'm analyzing. We don't need to go anything more. That kind of kicks out what was on deck. You see where we're at here. This is August 2025. There is something very bad, but it wasn't what I thought was next. And right now, there are some people probably out there that are looking for something really, really bad right now. But you kind of saw what I was kind of pointing here. I didn't want to give any exact numbers. But it was more of a shallow pool compared to obviously going down to like a 12,000. Christian, what's up, dude? Thanks, brother. I hope you're well, man. But it was a shallow pool, but we have to go finish up what's on deck above here. So I'll get off this, but this wick here is one that's of value. I'm going to give you guys some more on this, some added stuff on it. You hear me say 155, 170. I firmly stand behind that. I think that's a high probability that has to happen. I repeat that like almost for me, just talking to myself here. It is BK. What's up, brother? I thought it was you. That has to happen for me. For the data, it just makes sense. For me, the way I'm looking at things without getting into all the details. So I'm going to get off of this stream here, but that's where we left off about 6 months ago. Let's go and see what has happened today. As you guys know, we did have that pullback right here. I'm not here to toot my horn on this at all. I did have some information that has shown this, and that people have kind of posted this out there, and I kind of almost want to say it's a forgotten fractal, but if any of you guys saw that some people started sniffing out some things. I saw this move. Once again, not here to toot my own horn. I just want to being candid. I'm being straight up. We saw this move probably about a year and a half ago, and it's came through. So you might say, well, do you see the next one? It's like, well, we think so. And I'm going to give that to you guys. But it started to get sniffed out recently, and then everyone, I think, kind of bailed on it. As this pulled down, they kind of bailed on it. And I almost want to call it like a forgotten fractal, but go look at the Google, man, against this. Or you can even use Microsoft, run Bitcoin against, and I'll do it real quick. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you don't we'll talk about if it can get to this 50 area here, because that's really where my next, if there was, but I just wanted to say, as I'm right here making this video right now, I've got what I needed out of this. I got this tap back here. That's very important. And a lot of fractals, a lot of charts, like probably 6 of them, I would say 6 came back and drew like this and came back here and tapped back here. And that was like a key thing for me. So I was rooting it on right here to go up, to be honest. But I knew what I had data wise, that this was the area that would find a local bottom, and we're going to go make a new all-time high from here. So I'm just, and I know people are looking at this. It's very simple fractal stuff, not trying to, belittle it or make anybody feel inferior. I've done this so long, so many times, and I've made so many mistakes by just quickly like, oh, we're copying that, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and that's not true. I felt like I've kind of advanced a lot from those years to understand that this is like quantum computing, and it stays away from each other. So it knows what it's done. It knows what, by the way, everyone's putting stuff on social media. All it's doing is reading it. In an AI world, even more obvious today. So it was already there back then doing this. Now you're seeing AI agents and everything. Everybody knows about it. They're literally talking to Grok, and everyone's posting all their charts and all their stuff. And all it is doing is using it against you. That's all it's doing. I used an analogy the other day is what Bitcoin will do, for example, is because there's a lot of people leveraging, and you got bulls and you got bears, and you might say, well, Chris, is it going to take them all out? And I say, it'll take them all out. It's that advanced. It's almost like a football player carrying a football, or a soccer player with a soccer ball, which would be football as well if you're overseas. And think of a bunch of defenders as bulls and bears, people calling different stuff, because you would think, well, if they're only going to go up or down, somebody's going to win and the leverage. And I'd be like, no, the AI will go around it all. It'll go around all those people. So it'll get them all. So you'll see, some people like, well, I'm bearish to here, but then I'm bullish. And the other person's like, I'm bullish first and then bearish. And you might say, well, is it going to get both of those to almost look wrong or mess them up? And I would say, yeah, that's how advanced it is. So my thinking is all the way down there now, looking at this. So I know that it'll bait people, it'll set you up, and I'm not going to rule out this by all means. This is a very obvious, like, hey, we're curling over here, look at the moving averages, they're crossing, we're right here, it's doing the same thing. Now, if you go look at Ethereum, it's not doing the same thing. If you go look at ADA, it's not doing the same thing. If you look at algo, it's not doing the same thing. So that'd be like my argument to myself. So I keep digging to be like, okay, Bitcoin's setting this up. Now, is it setting it up on purpose? Is there a lot of people probably looking at it and throwing it out on the internet like, hey, we're going to copy this, we're copying this. And I'm like, watch out. I've done this before and it backfires. So I'm not here to 100% care about getting the right calls or not. Like as far as like getting props for it, I'm trying to do well and make right calls. I make mistakes like everybody, but for the most part, I felt like I overall macro, just staying with it, understanding it and adjusting to it and saying, yeah, I see that. Okay. I have 50, you know, as I said moments ago, like, but I really don't see that. I can see a little bit of a game here to bait on this a little bit more, but then go up, which will look like I call it the forgotten fractal, that Google, which we'll pull up here in a second. So I'll just pull up now, actually. We can go to a 3-day here and just run them both side by side, or I think I have it on the other screen here on a monthly. So we'll just go to a monthly, right? So we'll go to a monthly, we'll pull this up, and you'll see what I'm talking about, and you'll see how well this kind of pocket is a possibility. And once again, there is like, I have like 6 that have done this, by the way. And a key thing was back testing back here, like I said moments ago, like that was a thing. Come back here, wick into this, encroach it, not just tap a top, go and encroach it a little bit, and it has. Now, like, can you get it a little bit more and get this on the backside here? That's where like going into that 50 would probably do it if it wicked through there. It'd probably end up closing above the moving average there on the monthly. But I don't want to live there, and I'm not going to live there because, as I told you earlier, and I showed on the last 6 months ago, I said we have to go clear 138, 155, 170 are high probabilities for me. So I'm clear. I'm definitely on the bull side of things here. I'm trying to finish up this area here because it's shallow. I call this shallow to me. This isn't a major meltdown. A major meltdown obviously is under going towards 12,000 and stuff. As we've seen with Luna, with FTX, and if you have seen the mantra chart, the mantra chart is also a problem as well. I'll read some of your comments, guys, in a second. I just want to kick some of this out and keep it going for you guys. So you guys can see right here, Google monthly shallow, kind of hovered above the yellow 50 moving average. That's where we're hovering right now. It says we got 18 days left. Now I want to point out something which is kind of, you know, controversial, but some of you guys might know about it, is Mercury retrograde. We're in Mercury retrograde right now. Good thing is we only got 7 days left. So you've been in it. I've studied it. I've seen that a lot of things usually don't happen during that. So if it's bearish, it usually kind of just floats bearish. If it's bullish, it kind of floats. It's just not a lot of action, you know, because the planetary, if you believe in that stuff, is moving backwards. It's messing with energy. It's messing with technology. It's slowing things down, making you kind of, it's checking. Everyone's got to check themselves. Usually there's communication problems and technology problems, and you know, you don't want to start things new. You want to work on current things. That's what you want to do. And you know, weird things happen. X's show up in text messages. You know, you're traveling and your flight's delayed majorly, stuff like that. It's very common. So I studied that, and I just want to let you guys know we're in that right now. But the good news is by next Friday, the 20th there, we will be on our way out of Mercury retrograde. So we got one more. So it's typically, it was like around 3 weeks, 22 days long. So it started in February, around February 26th of 2026. And I think we'll have 2 more Mercury retrogrades this year, which is common every year. But anyways, I just wanted to point that out. So don't look for a little bit more of a game playing into next week. It's, you know, whether it gives us some more up, whether you are bull or bear. You can see where I'm leaning towards because of stuff I have on the screen, and I can even show you more. But let's kind of back this out a little bit more and just go to like a 3-day and just kind of see how it looked there. You can see we're hovering above, and this by all means is not to scale. So you can see this has already left the station. So for us to think that this is going to just copy exact, that's where we'll be wrong. It's no different than me stating, hey, be careful on that cup to that cup right there. It likes to do that and bait you into it, and then it gotcha, and then it goes the other way. And AI is reading the internet, and the more people post about it, and it knows what everyone's thinking and trying to do. So, as you can see here, a 3-day went down to the red line, and we went down to the purple line. But don't look at it that way. Look at where this has touched. Look at where this has touched. It's all about coming back here and touching that top right there, and that's what we've had on a couple. Microsoft. You know, the Google, who else? I mean, the US 100, the S&P 500. There's been several here, so just kind of pointing those out. But yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this kind of massive recovery. We did pierce on the RSI down here as well, which would be us like right about right here. So you know, these stepping cups heading down. Let me just kind of make this the same so it doesn't look too hard for you all to read there. But yeah, this cup, and coming down here to the RSI. So we're coming down to that RSI right there, piercing on that. I mean, that's typically a strong bottom area when that's doing that and it's piercing like that. It actually is forming a diamond on that RSI. Now that I look at that, like I said, I'll give it to that like 50, which would probably, would really throw some people off, but I don't know if that's there, man. It could not be there. And it's just like, hey, no, man, we're ready to go. We're going to. And if you noticed, a lot of times you'll hear people talk about the wars and stuff and, oh my God, the market's going to take. No, go look at history. There was somebody that did a video on it a while ago. I'll never forget about it. It might've been Alessio. And it was like, no, the markets love wars. And I know that sounds sick in a way, but they do well in wars. We'll call it that. Markets do well during wars. So don't think that sometimes there's like a flash in it, but it's not like a COVID. I've never seen anything like that, but there is some down and, but then it can thrive in that. And we kind of had that with the COVID response anyways. We had the flash pull down nastiness. And then you guys know crypto went on a run there from 2020, really December 2020 to, if you're looking at alts to, 2021 May, that kind of top back up here, right? That says November, but like right here, April, May is where the alts topped out. So let's look a little bit more at Bitcoin. We'll go to XRP as well. And then if you guys have any questions, we can go over some questions, but I just want to give you guys where my head's at, what I'm looking at, completely just how I read things and point out some things here for you all. So here's another look here's something I'll give you guys. So when you look at this whole fractal right here, look at it as a whole and make this be your center point. So pretend this is like a head here, and this is like a left arm, and this is a right arm. And what you want to look at here is coming off this head, what do? We ripped into the red moving. I'll probably show you on a different scale. And then over here, we ripped into the red. You see how we encroached? We encroached. But over here, we've kind of floated above it. This kind of touched it, but we're kind of right above it. Don't be surprised if that's done, is what I'm saying. And the replication, the mirroring of this would rip up to the upside, which is what I was just showing you. The other thing is I'm going to turn this on this drawing here. So a couple of things here just to kind of show you. Top. So we're going to you're just going to use this as a channel right now. So we're going to use this as pretty much the flagpole and then a running, even though this isn't really a flag to me, but it's a running channel running up here. But what we're going to look at here is tops and then the tapping that has happened here. And then we'll look at the fibs. So these are Fibonacci's right here in the background, right? Those scales. We'll look at those in a second because we don't want to just say, oh, it's in the channel, we'll go touch the top of the channel. That would be foolish of us to do that. Don't ever do that. It's not always accurate at all, by all means. You guys have probably seen that, but we'll use it just as an example here. So we did hit the top of this, right? And then we came down, we tapped the bottom once, we tapped it twice, then we went to the top. We tapped the bottom once. I'm now telling you that we tapped it twice. And now I would say, or do we go to the top? Well, we can root for that, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's run fibs on this to see if that's where it wants to go, because when you run a fib on this from the top to the low on the first tap, that 1618 gave us our next top. You run the top to our low, our next 1618 puts us at 172. Doesn't put us at the top of the channel, does it? What was I making the comments earlier on? It's like, hey, my pocket is around 155, 172 that I feel like is a high probability that has to happen. Is this one thing that I'm giving you that supports it? Yeah, I would say like that's kind of dialing me in a little bit. Let me take this off. That's a smaller one. That's me playing around with this to this, doing fibs on that. But anyways, yeah, I would be, this is me talking to myself, and we have to always say no financial advice and all that stuff. I'm sure it probably beats into everyone's head because everyone says it. But we got to say it just to kind of protect ourselves, even though it's like people are saying it, but they give financial advice. It's like, come on. But it is me just talking to myself, sharing data. That's what I'm looking for on Bitcoin right now. So you can see that. Now I'm going to give you a little bit more here, not just stop there. Let me go to let me see what the monthly did. Let me go to a 2 week. I think the 2 weeks looking pretty good. We're closing in 2 days. So, okay. So this is something to watch for right here as well. I'm looking at, let me see if I kick this to a 3 week. Let me see what some of these moving averages start doing. Like, I think it might've been the month. Let me go to the monthly. I just want to see what happens here. Yeah, it's kind of like the float, the encroach. Okay, say when I go to the monthly, you see the yellow 50 moving average here on the monthly. You see how we encroached and we went through it? I know we ate through it with candle bodies. Over here, we just wick through it, right? But I want you to notice if that's their center point and then you hit it, the next go around was a hover above it and then rip up. So the next go around is hover above it, which is what we're doing. Then we rip up. Right there, same thing that already did on the monthly. Okay. Let me go and give you some. Let me give you some gaps that I think are helpful. And let me tell you, I'll tell you this. You guys might find this interesting. I went through every single Bitcoin chart on TradingView, every single pairing. You name it, I scoured it. I went through it. I analyzed it. I dug it up, and that's how I use it. I got to grab with everything I can to understand what the hell's happening here. By the way, before we move on, that daily candle right there is actually a bullish candle, but and that wick likely gets filled. But watch for some trickery right here with the rest of Mercury retrograde in here. I feel like I needed to at least, and it's not even a major move, to at least come down to like 69.8, which is pretty weak. That's like a minimum to me. Like that, you should probably do something like that. But there's been some charts that have been pow shooting up here. So watch out. But sometimes they're bait. I have one chart that fizzled right here a little bit and then goes pow. The other ones are kind of short-lived there. Let me give you a little bit more here. Okay. All right. So as a fractal person, you see this right here, this formation. It's a left, it's a head, it's a right. You can put a neckline over it, right? It broke up on it. What did it do? It came back and back tested that area there, right over here on that right shoulder, right? But it created another little guy there, which is a left, a head, a right, and then it broke up on it. And then you kind of have the same thing going on here. So you'd have to make sure your mind can see it, but this would be a left, this would be a center, and this would be a right. And we're playing around on this. And you would have a neckline right there. I don't know if I have it on this chart. Let me see. No, I don't. I'll just draw on it real quick. So I'll just kind of do a neckline there, and I'll just kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So boom, boom, and this would be our center point. This is the head of that, right? And there's a little guy right there, a lot of coding, a lot of just programming done by AI, algorithm, quantum computing, controlled by humans but ran by bots and stuff. And so the same thing is here. We would draw our neckline there. This would be our kind of center point. That would be our left. It's deformed a little bit. There goes our right. And as I showed you back here, we can come back and check that right side right there. So this right side, I would probably expect it to at least check that. Now, does it pull deeper than that? I don't really. If we want this to go now and look like Google, we don't really want that to happen. We'd want it to be pretty shallow here, which would mean that, by literally whether the weekend, even though we're in Mercury retrograde still, I mean, as we finish off, can there be something here? Let me back it up and just give you a couple more ideas. So that's one thing. That's my short term, what I'm watching for. If you're wondering the next 24 hours or so, look at kind of pull back here. The other thing is analyzing this 1, 2. I just feel like that needs to really pull. So there's like 1, there's 2 here. I almost feel like I need a 3 here. It's just, without getting into too much detail, it's like a coding thing for me, which would still grab that. How deep can it go off of that? I'm not sure, but somebody would probably even have a trend line there that it would probably kind of, they like to break through those trend lines. So if you ever put trend lines on things, a lot of false breakouts, a lot of wicking, a lot of, a lot of that stuff is taking out leverages, as you guys know. So, watch for that I'm showing you. I think that's valuable. Let me get off this. Sorry. I think let me just get rid of that too. A lot of times I don't want to have, even though I do leave my drawings, I don't like to have them on there because AI, I think, is reading everyone's charts, and then it can completely process it, compile it, and then read and say, okay, there's this many people that are bullish, this many people that are bearish, or vice versa, and it literally calculates, and it'll create a pattern to do what it wants to do to mess with everybody. That's just my opinion on it, how advanced it is. Let me see what the 4 hour is doing right here. So 4 hour looks like it wants to reset. So we topped out on the 4 hour of the stochastic of Bitcoin. A lot of times it likes to come back down and go all the way back down to the base. But let's go to some other time frames. I'm gonna go to a 1 hour real quick and see what that wants to do. So yeah, the 1 hour is actually, we bottomed out, not fully. So watch for that to maybe come back down, and we never topped out on that 1 hour. I thought there was a shot there earlier today to go do that. You guys saw it probably almost at 5% earlier today, really pushing. But the good news is either way, it created that, left that wick there for us. That wick is, and there's some other charts with some major wicks going up here, which really signaling where we'd go. Got a couple wicks down here. I'm always notating those. I got a couple gaps down here, notating those. But overall, I think we can hold this, even if there is a pull off the right here a little bit stronger, and then we can you'll head off into, I'm assuming alt season's going on when this is happening, as I was showing you with the whole, with the whole. Well, I don't have the full chart on here, but you guys know what I'm talking about. We're in this cup down here with this whole Google kind of look. It would expect us to be firing off as well. Okay, so I was going to go and show you guys some more stuff here. So here goes some helpful gaps. As I told you, I went through every single chart. I could probably just go, let me see what some of these Euro ones were. That's not the one I want. This is, okay, I'll just use this one as an example, but I have a ton of these with different pairings, and whenever I see a lot of that and that all being on the same spot and that being on the same spot for a lot, at least I know that it's going to draw. It wants to draw up here and it wants to clear those out. So then we would be looking at this from a different perspective. We would say, well, if Bitcoin's drawing like that, how are we looking at the chart? Like, well, not looking at it really in a bearish standpoint. I would, because I have going to clear up some wicks and stuff to the top. And let me see if I got so much stuff loaded. It's crazy. Charts over charts over charts over charts. Let me see if I can give you one or two here real quick. What's this one? I'll give you that one right there. There goes a 152 right there. Wick 2 to add on to the 138. And add on to my 172, 1618. Let me see if I can give you another one here that I can do. There's one that you don't want. So I don't think I don't take these into consideration. I do. You heard me on that six month video ago, that 12,000. I don't want to. I have to pick. Is it what's first, up or down? These are a lot of times liquidation grabs. And kind of glitchy. These are confusing, right? You got double side right there. That's first the Japanese. A lot of these sometimes can be very confusing. But I use them for help. We'll just use this one as our last one here. So what does this one show us here? Another wick here, 148. So we got 138, 148, 150s I showed you. We got some wicks going both ways, obviously. But I got the fractal stuff that is pointing for me. Time will tell if, how accurate my reading and my understanding is of it all, is to go north and finish up this area in this pocket here. And then we would be heading north on Bitcoin. So that is my analysis moving forward, probably for the next 6 months into the summer of Bitcoin. And I would expect an alt season to commence from after Mercury retrograde, possibly a ceasefire happens on Iran, or something happens where the war is done, and that is used as a narrative to justify why is the markets going up. Well, this happened and Trump ended this, or that happened, or this happened. I don't even try to get into the new stuff no more. There is just so much, and it'll just mess with you. Read the chart, study the chart, and then you'll notice where stuff comes in, and you'll laugh. You'll start laughing to yourself. You're like, are they delaying with this chart? Is the chart timed to it? It's like, how does it? It's all controlled, man. It's all controlled. So we're just playing in it. We're playing in it, and it's controlled, and that's just the way the world is. I mean, if you got to understand, when a new market is born, and years ago this was born, there is no buying and selling. How do you make a market look natural? It would be flatlining. It would be weird. I mean, you can give me a chart like Top Network. No one even right now it's flatlining and it's looking the most natural. But what is doing that? Drawing. What's doing the buy and the sells? It's all bots. It's all bots. It's all It's creating a market. It's creating a screen. But the humans will think like, oh, people are buying and selling. People are selling right here. They're buying right here. It's just it's the system doing it to itself. It's the one controlling it all. So, and a lot of times I'll see like, this person just lost this much money. I'm like, it's just the system. It owns the coins and owns the money, and it owns the control. So it'll always be controlled. But you're playing in it. You can do well in it, and you just got to read it as best as possible. So any questions on Bitcoin before I exit out of this and head over to XRP? But I wanted to give you guys this as some help for moving into the future here over the next 6 months. I think it can probably bolt onto your own analysis and things like that. Let me go back to my one here. Let me just see what this is doing, and I'll check the charts up there. Frank, what's up, brother? Let's go. Rugnit. Wow, 901. Oh, what's up, dude? I feel like all markets have been irrational for a long time now. Yeah, it's all just, if the quicker one can realize it's just not real in a way, it's kind of fake, and well, it's controlled. And it's funny because you always say like the markets are manipulated. They've always been, just like the casinos, Vegas, football games, sports games. It's how it is. Unfortunately, it's the 3D world we live in. It's the elites. They run the world. They control the world. It's their system, and we're playing in it. We don't have to, but we kind of do, especially in the realm of, work, food, money, survival, shelter. We do. But we don't have to play on their markets. But honestly, however else you're going to climb out of, living that kind of mediocre or even a lower poor life, it's not fun. I know how it is, guys. So it's been there, I have friends who are addicted to sports betting, and I believe most of those games are also rigged. Yeah, there's been weird stuff. And then, with kicks, like taking last year in football, like, usually whenever you're down as a team, you don't end the game kicking a field goal. You end the game by throwing the Hail Mary to try to score a touchdown or something. Even though you won't win, you still go for the bigger points. It's just common. But when you see kicks being made at the last and it ends the game for the team to lose, the team's kicking a field goal to lose, but they want to, it's definitely betting things. There's some weird, some that not that I'm going to go and say like, oh, the players are fully involved in it, but when I see a bet that says Aaron Rodgers won't run for half a yard, and I'm like, you're telling me that he's not going to just at one point scramble a little bit and at least get a yard the whole game? And, you see that like almost like, I'm like, I seen him one time run, and then he like stopped at the line and backed up, but I'm like, what? Wait, what? And I'm like, but then later in the game, he ended up getting the yard. But I'm like, that is so fine. And I understand analytics, but some of that stuff, it's like probability. I mean, that's a tight probability. That's a tough one, man, to say that. And there was a couple I did joke. I mean, I get bored sometimes, and I'll bet on, play like I'll do a bet like that, like those kind of prop bets. And I'll do well on some of them. I've done well, and then obviously the other ones don't. But some of them, like, you're telling me that, Brock Purdy or Christian McCaffrey isn't going to get, like, no way. I'm betting against that. And, like, I'm watching the game. I'm like, it's not happening. But it could be just analytics, but I don't think so. All right, so let's go over to XRP. I know a lot of you guys are XRP holders. I'm not an XRP holder. Short answer right now, if you're wondering, I have it still going to a new all-time high for that. It's we're not done. We're not done here, and we're not done on XRP. Not yet, man. And I'm not just telling you guys that just to kind of make you feel good. I'm not here for likes, subs, go buy any subscriptions. I none of that stuff. So if anything, and I know it's probably hard to find that in the world of that gap needs to get closed, by the way, probably before we go. In the world of YouTube influencers, chart readers, crypto people, it's hard to find that, man. But if you do find somebody that's not pushing that and they're just literally obsessed about reading the charts and working, you're probably going to get the most out of them, in my opinion, because their focus is that it's not trying to scale a channel or want attention. Let's be real, it's a human, it's the ego. want attention, want to make money off you, you know, want to just feel right, be right, king, the man, you know, stuff like that. It's just all ego stuff. So yeah, if you find somebody that's not doing that, pay attention to their work. And, you know, people need to make money. I get it. I guess I just never, I feel like this makes money. Like if I'm doing good reading this, then I will do well with money, you know, for this. I need to get there. I need to get, you know, $2,000 off each person a year or something like that. Like, bro, you better be calling some good stuff, man, I wouldn't feel good. I wouldn't feel good inside to do that. So anyways, well, I won't talk about all that, but that's just how I see things. That's just how I'm operating. But this gap here, I think needs to get closed. It's not a major gap there. We can see we're froze right now. This is a Poloniex chart. Very common to do this. It's not even much of a gap left. That's a -2 from where we're at. So that's going 2 minus in the red. You can see it's stuck right now. It's frozen. It hasn't even activated. It's just frozen. That's what they do sometimes. You guys have been around on streams with me back in the day, and they'd freeze. All of them would freeze live on a stream, and they would not move. Almost like some of them are. I'm looking at the chart on the right, and like there is no twinkling, and I'm like laughing because I'm like, are we frozen again? Are we frozen? Are we gonna move? And any little twinkle is an actual real like human. But when the whole thing freezes like this, it's those bots. The system is frozen of the controlling of the drawing. And someone might be like, well, I just saw one move. I just saw one move. That was actually probably a real person. You know, that was actually a real person that went in there and bought something and traded something. But yeah, a lot of that's not really moving over there, because I'm even seeing this right here, which is my Bitstamp chart of XRP, is stuck there as well. So these two are stuck, and it's been, what, 42 minutes? You know, it just shows you like it's, you know, one could say the feeding is going. So there goes a little bit of a twinkle there. Let's go look over here at this. So this appears to be moving, so this one's fine, you know, but that Poloniex is definitely frozen. So looking at XRP, that gap needs to get grabbed, but let's look at more of a macro standpoint here. So this to me needs to come up here, if you're wondering, and a new all-time high. It you know who did something like this was BNB. Let me go and grab it. BNB was actually shuffling here and did it from here and went up. Let's go look at BNB. BNB could probably be showing you the future of XRP. Now, many of you guys might get bummed out about that. Be like, well, I want higher. I can't stress enough. I mean, this is, you guys do you, but and I'm telling you, it does a new all-time high. We could probably get almost $10, but I know it goes to at least $4 to $5. I feel like that's like as confident as I say about Bitcoin going to the areas. I say that about this as well. At least next, like we're not going sub 20 cents yet. It will go sub 20 cents, by the way. I know that's crazy and people won't agree with me, but I cannot tell you why I think that and why I know that. I just can't. It would just backfire, and I just don't want that out. But I can at least tell you that and once again, I don't, you guys do you. I'm just telling you, this shit goes up, and there will be a moment I'll know probably where this thing will top out at. And based off of, we'll call it an indicator in a way. It's not, but I'll just say that tells me where it does top out at. And I'll know from that point on, I probably need to get the hell out of everything, not just XRP. I got to get the hell out of everything. We will see that indicator has done very, very well, and I'm pretty impressed by it. So without getting into the details of it, I don't want to say it would cause problems. It would cause problems in the world. It could go viral over the internet, and I don't want that, and it could cause problems. So I don't want to do that. But I will give you what I can give you, which is like, all right, man, give me at least something to help me a little bit here. And I would say that'd be a way that can help you. But, so, you know, this top back here, you can see us back here. Remember, this isn't the same fully, but just stick with me here. Here goes our top. We're going to come down here and hit our base. We're going to then push up from that base, and we're on this 1-2 kind of thing. So we did the 1, we did the 2, but you see how the 2 went a little deeper? That's fine. It happens sometimes. LCX did something like this, and then it shot up. So at the very least for me, I need XRP to go to $4 to $5 before I would even start looking for a top. Others got some pretty crazy numbers, but I can't stress enough that I don't think that those things are any of that's true. I think it's all a big lie. And once again, I can't tell you why I'm saying this, but all I can say is I think it's a big lie. And time will tell. But for now, who cares? You're going to go make more money because it's going to go up. Just do your best, you know what I mean? Do your best with it and go up over $5 at least. So if you're holding it, don't fear this down, even though these will come here. This in my opinion isn't happening yet. We need to come up first. And yeah, like this is a good understanding, and you can probably even run fibs on this, at least from the first point here, like this here to here. Oh, look at that. I had a megaphone on that thing. Give me a second. What do I have there on that drawing? So I had a megaphone on here. Well, there goes a $5 off that megaphone. There's some gaps left there for you all, just to give you hopium there. I mean, just support to go up. But yeah, at least this megaphone, 1, 2, at least a third top here. You can see 1, 2, third top. This is just work I've done. I didn't plan on showing it, clicking it, but watch this megaphone pattern. You can look up megaphone pattern, 1 wave, 2, 3, 4, and you can see it kicks up there. And then we can see if it could flex pretty hard. Remember, you saw what Google did. So imagine, whoops, sorry, I don't have it over there. But you remember how Google versus Bitcoin, Google kind of flexed up. This can flex up aggressively here. It can probably be even more than this little, like these trend lines and stuff. It can, I think we have a chance to get to the $10, which would be nice for you all. Especially many of you all have been accumulating probably for a while, so you probably have decent bags. What I was going to do is grab the, I was going to run the fibs on it, but I want to run it from back here when I don't want to, because it's going to be wrong if we go from there, because that didn't happen. There's a couple ways we can run the fib. We can run it from the low to that high there. So let's do that first. So let's go low to the high here, to that first leg up, and do that, and then do the same thing here. So we'll go from that low. Whoops, what am I on? My Elliott wave there or something. So low to the high here. I'm just going to do it right here so it doesn't interact so much. So this went over, so this went just south of the 1618. So you can see just south of the 1618. That gets you close to that $10. So you can see my argument from that perspective. Like, well, I can easily say 5, but is there really a $10 or slightly more you saw there happening there? I'd have to see how this behaves too. I wonder if this creates a lower high or just comes back up here and creates a double top during that phase. You know, I got to see how that behaves. The other option is taking this from this top and going to this low, and that did around just lower than the 2286. So just lower than that 2286. You can see I did something here that got the 2. Oh, that was doing that to do the 2286. So 2286. That's a fib I added. I love that custom fib 2286. That's like my thing. So yeah, 2286 around 924. So XRP holders, dude, don't expect over 5. When it starts getting towards that 910. I mean, will I post a tweet or something, be like, I'm out, guys, fully of everything? Probably. There's a chance I'd probably do that without saying anything, because it would just, this is the whole market that I'm referring to that would have a problem. It's not going to just be, oh, XRP is singled out and your indicator is strictly on XRP. No, it would not just be strictly on XRP. It would be on the market as a whole, because we a lot of times move in unison. But also pay attention to stuff on Ripple. There's not XRP, but Ripple. Good things happening for Ripple, for Ripple. And I know XRP is integrated in there, but just watch out with that, because that's kind of the bait. You can get blind to it a lot of times, looking at it from that perspective. You want some real bullish hopium stuff? We can run this thing, and no one's probably done it in a while. Run it against good old on Doge. Let me go back over here to my historical charts, and we'll go to Doge, and then we can wrap it up from there. But I at least wanted to give a lot of you this stuff, because I know how hard it is, man. It's very hard on you, and it's hard on people I know that have held, or just not even that, just been buying and looking for certain targets. And the worst thing is that you get nothing from it. I'd rather you get something from it and do well, So well enough, So I mean, this had 3 waves. So we got this one back here, boom. And then this was here. You can see it's like, well, can we hit another wave? So we can go one up, go sideways, and can we go a little bit higher here? Can we go higher here? Which is probably what a lot of people are looking for. It's possible. I don't think it's going that high based off of some of the information I have. But I can at least show you what I do have, which is, coming up to these areas here, I think are possible. But at that time, you might see something might change. But I guess this stream is just to at least let you know, like, over $5 to $10 is just like a high probability to go happen. So don't be discouraged about what's going on right now, or anything you hear as far as news or anything. Don't get discouraged about any of that, or let it mess with you, because I don't even look at that stuff. I'm looking strictly at data, and so far, a lot of the stuff I have has been very, very, I think it's been accurate enough to pinpoint, like, a good ballpark. I definitely have my L's. I don't want to get away from that and say I don't make mistakes. I make them. I learn from them. I learn a hell of a lot from them. And that's what's getting me to be better today. Let me check LCX again first, because I think LCX showed the move on this. Like, at least that move back up, I think, off the... but see, LCX went back down. Put this back on the daily. It's from this push up, that, and at least doing that. I obviously... you gotta be... You never know, man. You gotta be careful on these things. But yeah, so like this... doing this little guy up here and then coming down. So doing this guy up here and then coming down, and it's kind of coming down in like a 3 wave, 1, 2, 3. And then there's like 1, there's 2, there's 3. So we'd be underneath there. We're both on the daily here. We're underneath that purple line. You see how that just rocketed up back up here, which would, I would say, at least 5. It can be a little higher. It doesn't have to be identical to this. You obviously don't like that has happened, but there are some charts, like an H-bar, for example. And I'll look at XLM too. Let me go to H-bar. Yeah, it's kind of like this kind of look right here. You have this pull here down, right? You have this spike up. And you see how this came down through? And, is that all it's going to give us? Is there this kind of strong impulse into the summer and then things go to shit? I got to watch for that. We don't know how explosive some of this is going to be. I got to do my best to watch it. I mean, there's been some stuff that has done well, and, it's now, it's funny how they now, kind of bullshit and make up a different story about it, but I'll use mantra. Well, that's the new mantra. Let me go to the old mantra. That's the new mantra. So that new chart there is the new one. Did they get rid of... I need the old mantra. Give me a second. It'd be under US. There we go. I want this one. So it's this stuff that I'm always concerned with. So this was a rapid rise and then complete collapse. The project, there was nothing... What they said when this all happened, we don't know. We were looking into it. It's because it's controlled. Well, we don't know. We're looking into it. You literally just... This thing was an amazing push. This was an amazing push, up 45,000%, which is possible on our stuff. And then obviously you see what's happened. And now, we're going to do a swap, or this is our old, we're going to go to a new token. And that's what is bullshit to us. It's happened too many times, the forking and stuff on us. It's bullshit. But it happens, man. It happens. and that's the game we're in. So let me go look at XLM, and then we can just kind of wrap it up. XLM's pretty much in the same ballpark of XRP. I don't know if I have. Let me go to some gaps and stuff. Oh, I didn't show you the one gap I still have. This is kind of scary, to be honest. This is really scary, to be honest, because this is a triple top on a macro. One can say, oh, there's a flag. This is a flagpole, and that's a flag, and this can shoot up and do a doge. I mean, there's always that possible way that I was just showing you guys with doge and stuff. I don't have it over there now, but yeah, you can see it was still on this, so it'd be a dream, a dream shot. You know what I mean? We'll see how aggressive it wants to come off of that, but yeah, what bothers me about that is just the 1, 2, 3, and I've had some come all the way back down here, which is pretty devastating. The good thing is I don't think that happens. So at least, as I was showing you with H bar, are we going to at least come up here and push up $1? Stellar XLM needs to happen. I know it's at 16 cents right now, but I would say that at least needs to happen. I'm trying to think if there was something else I wanted to show you. Let me go to my gap charts on that and just see what I have above. But oh, I didn't go to the XRP dominance. The XRP dominance has my gap. I showed you guys this, I think, last time. It's still there. It's open for business. There's gonna be a lot of drawings probably on this. But this guy right here, really supporting that. That's that $5-6 right there. So I really got that zoned in. There's a major gap down here, by the way. But I feel like I got that zoomed in. That needs to happen. That has to happen. So you're gonna have to hang tight for that to come through. Sorry, I'm just looking up here. Quant's been doing pretty well, right? Let me finish up the XRP. Ants 2000 all-time high, $400. Let me go to these gap charts real quick on XLM here. Yeah, see, I mean, these are the scary ones. Those are all gaps below on XLM, so that's not a one that you probably want to see. Let me see what the dominance. If the dominance, I got some stuff on the dominance above. Yeah, it really boils down to me. I haven't even probably updated this though. This has been like this for quite some time. I'm sure there's some gaps and stuff up off of this pull down here that I haven't even, after this stream, I'll probably go work on that. But I'm pretty much. I'm so off. I'm pretty much off social media. I'm off everything. I got away from my phone. I'm so bummed out by just AI and stuff. I've literally kind of went off the grid in a way, and it's been good. Life's been good. I just stick to myself, and I don't go on Facebook really. I mean, I maybe like once a year, maybe. Or Instagram, definitely. Like, that used to be where I'd always go. I think I changed like my profile pic and I just left. I don't even have it. I deleted all of them off my app, off my phone, all the apps. So this is all I typically do, is do this and stay detached from these networks. Yeah, it's unfortunate. This has, I'll have to do it. I'll do it later on that. I'll check quant, and then I'm going to get up on out of here. I just wanted to at least show the whole thing was about BTC and XRP. Let me check that quant. I want this one right here. This one will probably be the bigger chart. Hide and grow plants. Joe, yeah, that's what I'm doing, man. Hopefully you've been well, man. Hopefully you've been well, and hopefully you can reap this reward. I know you've been on the XRP for a while. Hopefully you can get your stuff and make the best of it and do your thing, man. I mean, this is this to me looks like it needs to go and clear a new all-time high. You know what I mean? What's the bottom for quant, bro? The bottom? Look at this is the full chart. Make sure you're always looking at the full chart, but this chart right here looks really good. This is, let me count this. Hold on. Yeah, I have this has to come. To me, I say has to. It looks like it needs to do that. It needs to break to the north. It needs to break to the north for me. H bar, Joe, I have 44 cents as open gaps. I know that's not a high number, but I'm at least stating that has to at least go up that way first before there's any indication of going back down by any means. But yeah, this quant looks great. I mean, one can be like, man, this is a major flagpole and a major bull flag. But yeah, this doesn't look bad at all, man. I would say if someone's like, hey, where's the bottom? I'm like, it's been tackling it right now. And that's like a 1, 2, 3 cup right there. I think it could rip off of this. So, I mean, it's always especially for me that doesn't even come on and do this stuff a lot, just to come on here and start making calls and stuff like predictions. That's what I want to do. It's forecasting. No one wants to hear, wants to see reviews, which is come back and review things. All right, so this is what it's done. Everyone knows what it's done. It's like we want to know where it's going. But yeah, you can see what I said on Bitcoin. They're all move in unison, realistically. I mean, the most of them are always going to move in unison, the bulk of them. So if what I say about XRP will be the same as H bar, the XLMs, a lot of them. I'll give you one more. I'll give you one thing that's also really helpful is go look at Coinbase, and you can use Ethereum. That's helpful, very helpful for understanding like what's going on, where the market's going. But yeah, this quant, I don't see a problem with it. I see it making a third cup. I see it holding well on some of those indicators down there. Let me go to the weekly. Yeah, look at the weekly, man. It's like literally, it's like we haven't even went back up on the stochastic on the weekly. So yeah, I would trust that this thing goes and it makes another high. I mean, I don't even know if I have any gaps on that. Let me see. Quant. They're all been taken out except these down here have not been. That's on a Gemini chart. God, that's messy. You can see I have not cleaned up a lot of my stuff. These were gaps that were supposed to get taken out, and they were planted a while ago. But yeah, these two down here. So if you want a possible lower, they leave gaps though. I don't want you to think that they don't leave these and go. They will, but there's a $47 and a $44 gap there. Wow, that QSP, that's looking good. I'll look at that later. Let me go stop at H bar since Joe said that. It's which one is it? Okay, so there goes the 44 above. So this is where it gets tricky. See these gaps down here? These will get met at some point, but I'm not there on that. This chart, it froze. It got stopped. It was on Bittrex. But I had a 44 up there. So that hasn't been grabbed yet. And then on this chart, where's it at? I think it's this one here. No, let me go to, I got another 44 somewhere. Hold on. There was two 44s from completely different exchanges, which really pinpoint that it's the, well, look at this. Yeah, here it is, 44 up here. What do I got? What the hell was I doing on this? 1, 2, wave 3. That's such scribble boy, but I'm calling that as a third down. So I must have drew this. I mean, it's possible it was February. Maybe it's not that old. But it's just why did I come down off of that? So I came down here and I like scribbled. So I started up here for some reason when I drew on it. So that's what's weird to me. I don't know if we were up here or something. All right, but either way, you can see this. This would be the same as XRP. So we would have to at least go up here. But see, I stopping right there. I think we can get $1 out of that, man. I think we get $1 out of that at least. Yeah, I'll probably sell. If this that Google versus Bitcoin. If I don't know if you were in here, Joe, when I showed that, but if it starts getting up there, if Bitcoin's at 155, 172, and XRP is above $6, maybe towards 10, H bars maybe at $1. I mean, I'm definitely taking a bunch of profits off of the table because it's just been a freaking war, and you know how quickly we can get stripped of that. I think everyone in here knows we've been stripped of. Oh, we're up. I mean, H bar is probably a familiar one. Joe, are you still in XRP at all? You're welcome, Juan. I didn't know if you were still in it. I thought you were. Or if you're, yeah. So okay, you probably, like many of us, since it's spent so much time, like we just start building a portfolio, DCA, and like heavily into all types of things, So, Manny, you're on the bear side of things, I'm assuming. 60 is good. Next BNB in the future. Pump and dump, doctor. We'll see, man. I got gaps below and gaps above. I'm obviously rooting for the bull side of things. Looking at this also, Joe, look at the this possible megaphone kind of thing. So if you ran a trend line across the top here, you see how that expands? So what it'd be a wave, 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 wave. And that's the one you want right there. That's a major possible megaphone to the upside. That's what he's saying on YouTube. His T is on point. I'm a bull. Never know. All coins ain't popped off. All right. Okay, so I was going to give you one last thing here. I was going to go and show you Ethereum. I was going to show you Ethereum versus this. To me, once again, to me, this looks like it needs to run. That's what that looks like to me. It needs to run there. This is kind of mega phony as well. Phony, right? Mega phony. It's phony. It's fake, Chris. But no, like push up and kind of mimic these triangles, these V's here. But I'll give you this, and we will we'll call it a day, and then I'll probably link up with you guys in another 6 months. There's no sense in, at least for me, the way I run things. It's not. I don't need to be doing this every single an update. I mean, I do it already behind the scenes, but I don't need to, because you guys want to see macro moves. You want to see gains. You don't want to see this little. I mean, you want to know if that holds though, right? And I got good faith that it probably will. Let's go to where was I going? Let me go to stocks. I didn't go to DXY. I was going to show you guys DXY. I was going to tell you about the DXY. DXY is read wrong, I think, by a lot of people. I know it sounds like tough to listen to sometimes. Like, wait, so everyone's reading DXY wrong? Yeah, the DXY doesn't need to go down for crypto to go up. That's what I wanted to tell y'all. And I check all this stuff to see if it's true. And I see it like, oh, I just want DXY to go down because if DXY goes down, the crypto will go up. I'm like, no, last time the bull run was happening in 2021, DXY was going up at an angle. So I go into that to go find that, to get those answers, to make sense of it. Let's see Coinbase right here. So Coinbase is, so you're going to see it real quickly. So Coinbase has given some good heads up, right? So here is, the kind of pattern. You can see it's already up a lot more. And what I'm going to show you here is, see how Coinbase at this level right here, you see how Coinbase already went and made that move? Look, I'll leave it right there and we'll end on this so you can see. Rob, what's up, dude? Look to the left. Did Ethereum make that move up yet? No. Did it go and follow? Yes. So can we use Coinbase at times to kind of guide us and tell us like, hey, we're going to want to go up and we're going to want to start doing these things? And I would say, yeah. I would say definitely. And not just looking at moving averages by any way and by any means, because they're not same in moving averages, but what I'm looking at is the actual drawing of that V there, right? That was drawn. And I started seeing things happen before, like I seen this, they both kind of kicked out. Well, this kind of kicked out of here first, a little bit higher than you can see Ethereum, which is what's happening today. we've kicked out of here higher than where Ethereum is. Ethereum's still in that cup down there, and we've already kind of pushed up a little bit, both at the yellow line, but I'm looking at that depth and that height off those candles. And then the one key thing here is when we are both right here, Coinbase goes bam, 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 and is all the way up here, right? And I'm like, I was talking to somebody, and I was just like, no, Ethereum's going to go up, because Ethereum needs to go to at least $8,000, in my opinion, based off of fibs and stuff and fractals and everything. Ethereum needs to go to $8,000, and I think that's where it's going. Coinbase is going to go make a new all-time high. Ethereum's going to go make a new all-time high. Bitcoin's going to make a new all-time high. Everyone's going to go make a new all-time high. Just about everybody. A lot of popular ones. So bear with it. And you'll see that this will probably come right here. This is going to start working its way up. We just got to get through this. One can look at this and say, is this going to slip down and make that lower megaphone like that? I got Bitcoin going to 50 if it wants to. That's, once again, I'm just saying that's a level for me. That's an open door for me, but that's not where I'm at right now. I'm looking for a slight pullback, recovery. Let's get the hell out of here after Mercury retrograde. So I will leave off on that. Everything that I speak of right now, time frame, is through the next 6 months. So from right now going into summer, I'm expecting all this stuff to happen for everybody. That's my take. That's what I'm looking for. In 6 months, I'll make a video and we'll see if I was just another jackass, or the work and behind the scenes is paid off and it's helped. But yeah, I want to leave off on that. Hopefully you guys enjoy your Friday wherever you're at, and enjoy the weekend. Stay healthy, be safe out there, and just keep moving along. Keep the mind sharp, and stay relaxed, and trust that you'll get that move. And things will finally work out, but you're gonna have to take the profits too. So I'll catch you guys later. See you guys probably in another 6 months or so, and we'll go from there. All right, take care. See you.